it is your girl Jade Ashley, and I want to welcome you back to an all new video of When the Beat Drops. And like always, you know, I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats in music of this week. So of course, you know, you got to stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so we are back. Another week, another video. We on a roll in 2021. So of course, I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to do this. We got some interesting things to talk about this week. And the first thing I have to talk about, because it literally just happened a couple of hours ago, is the verses between Keyshia and Ashanti. So this is, I don't even want to say highly anticipated, because I know a lot of people after a while was just kind of like, I don't care if it happens or not or whatever. But I'm sure you guys know that the versus battle between Ashanti and Keyshia was literally supposed to happen last month in December, and it got postponed. And then it was supposed to happen at the beginning of this month. It was like January 9th, I think was the second date. And like literally the week of, it got postponed again. And now it's finally happening, or it finally happened, I should say. I know the first time it got canceled, it literally got canceled the day of, at the last minute. And I was actually out at the time, but it got canceled because Ashanti got infected with COVID. And then the second time around, the verses, they wanted to kind of like switch up the dynamic and stuff like that, and kind of, you know, take it back where both artists were in 2 separate different locations, and they kind of like did like the joint lives and stuff, or whatever the case may be. And then, you know, they got it together this time for it to actually happen. And it was like so much that happened within this live that I'm not going to try to take too much time, and I just want to give y'all my thoughts and stuff. So first and foremost, you guys know what job I have and stuff like that. So I kind of like, not premeditated, but I kind of did like a pre-versus, you know, battle over on TSR the day that the second date, which was January 9th, when that was supposed to happen, because we was like, we don't know if it's gonna happen, so this is what a versus battle would look like and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun. If you guys never checked that out, just go search on the TSR page somewhere, and I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, I was excited to see if my battle kind of mirrored anything that they did. I think there was some songs that I actually put in my battle that they didn't, and then also some songs that they did that I didn't put in mine and stuff like that. But needless to say, it was supposed to start at 8 p.m. January 21st, Thursday, and literally everybody and their mama was on the live. It was like 1.1 million people that was on this live, literally, and they was late. They were late. It didn't start until a little after 9 p.m. I want to say like a little bit close to the like the 9:30ish side of things. And I was saying that because we had to deal with 2 cancellations, that they literally should have started at 7:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when they should have started. But yeah, it took like literally almost an hour for anyone to come on screen, first and foremost. And granted, you know, that's happened on previous verses and stuff like that. But a lot that went into this versus battle happening, they shouldn't have been late. They should not have been late. And then when somebody finally came on screen, which was Ashanti was the first one on screen. And, you know, she was just pretty much kind of like talking and interacting with her DJ and whatnot, just trying to like get things lively as we waited for Keyshia, because I don't know why the hell. I know they was in like 2 separate locations, but there was no reason why they should have been late. The fact that they weren't in the same location like some of the other verses, you would think that they would start on time, but they didn't. Nope, they didn't. And, you know, it was kind of literally like a, I want to say roller coaster ride. Yeah, it was a roller coaster ride. Like, it was up and down, because I was going to say it just, you know, went up and up and up and up, but it was some down moments too. So when Keyshia finally did come, I think the first thing that everyone said was, I know she ain't come to this battle late. And she had an attitude, because it kind of looked like, I ain't gonna lie, it looked like she had like a little bit of attitude at first or whatever. You know, she was late, she sat down, she was like, all right, let's do this. So she was like, all right, Ashanti, you go first. Ashanti was like, no, you know, you could go first and whatever. And everybody was like, yeah, because Ashanti was sitting here trying to entertain us while we was waiting on you. So Keyshia, you go first. Now, I don't have a list as far as like which songs they did kind of like back to back and stuff or whatever, but I will say that if you're not following me on Twitter, definitely follow me on Twitter, because I'm on there, you know, quite quite frequently, and I kind of tweet during these type of situations. I tweet during my shows and stuff or whatever. That's where I usually pop my shit. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't say, but on Twitter I let it out just because nobody really be paying attention to me anyway. So I feel like kind of, I get to talk because, nobody paying no mind. But yeah, when it started, I kind of feel like Keyshia Cole was getting it, because when the battle was supposed to happen back in December, and everyone was kind of like, oh, who you think going to win between Ashanti and Keyshia Cole? Originally, I was like, oh, Ashanti's going to win hands down. Like, I love both of them. They both have crazy amount of hits and stuff like that. But I was like, I felt like Ashanti was going to win just because not only does she have like the hits and stuff like that, but she's written for other artists. And everyone loves to talk about the songs she's done for J-Lo and stuff like that. So I was like, she has the advantage of playing the songs that she's written for herself and then, written for other artists and stuff like that. So initially, that's why I was like, oh, Ashanti's gonna win hands down. And then when I did that post the second time that the battle didn't happen that I was telling about, and I was putting it together and like matching up the songs and stuff, I was like, oh, I think Keyshia Cole's gonna win actually, because I'm like listening to the songs and stuff, and it's just kind of like Keyshia got hits, boy, like she really got hits. So I was convinced that Keyshia was gonna win. So for me, I was just kind of trying to see like who was gonna take it from me. So definitely that first half, I kind of felt like despite Keyshia's attitude that she started off with and stuff like that, I kind of felt like that she was coming out like as a heavy hitter in this battle. Like, she was just playing songs. And one thing that I kind of felt like was Ashanti's disadvantage in the first round was, I was like, I understand that you guys have like literally long lists of catalog. Like, they've been around for years. They had all these records and stuff like that. But I feel like Ashanti, she had, kind of a moment where she was playing records that weren't, singles that were released. Like when you drop a project, you drop a certain amount of singles and stuff like that to kind of like help, push that project. You do the music videos to it and stuff like that. And those is usually the records that become like the hits off of that project, for the prominent hits. So I was just like tweeting, and I was like, just a word of advice to Ashanti, please play the hit singles that we know. Please play the hit singles, like the charts, the big ones. That's what we wanted, because she started playing some records from her albums that weren't necessarily songs that everyone didn't know. Like, it was like, in the first part, like the first section, because they did a little intermission that nobody wanted, but like that first section, it was probably like a good 2 to 3 songs that Ashanti played that I feel like she didn't have to play, and she could have replaced them with other songs, and that would have set her off just like real good. So I just kind of feel like Keyshia had that. And I will admit, Keyshia, she had her moments of songs that I guess weren't necessarily popular, but I just kind of feel like Keyshia Cole, she was a part of records that even if they weren't like popular singles, they were popular songs, because when she played You Change, when I told you, I was like, oh my gosh, this used to be my shit. Like, that literally took me back to her first album, You Change. Oh, I was like, you change, you got dough and change, you got dough and you change, baby, you change, it wasn't the same. When I tell you, I was going down memory lane when You Change dropped. Like, literally, that was probably one of my favorite records she dropped. Like, I know I was talking big records, chart toppers and all of this other stuff, but You Change, that really took me back. So I will say that, Keyshia, she had her moments of songs that, weren't like the big ones, but when she dropped them, she dropped them. She played I Changed. That was the record that she did with Jaheim. That was played. So, but then, like I said, she had, those moments and stuff. But I think the biggest highlight from the first part of the battle was Keyshia Cole. She did Love. Now, the only thing is, I just kind of felt like she played Love a little bit too early on in the battle. When I did my little Verzuz thing or whatever, I matched up Love with Foolish just because I kind of feel like those are like that, those records are like those key prominent records when it comes to Keyshia and Ashanti. I mean, yeah, when it comes to Keyshia and Ashanti. Like the first thing I think about, if you say like, oh, what's the first Keyshia Cole record that comes to mind? Everyone and most people would probably start singing Love. And then the same thing for Ashanti, they would start, you know, singing Foolish and stuff. So honestly, I thought that those were going to be the records that they waited to use towards the end. Honestly, but Keyshia, she played that in that first little section before they got to the intermission, and I think to everyone's surprise, when she played Love and the chorus came on, OT Genesis, you know, he popped in and he started singing it with her, and you know, I think that was a good kind of growth for 2021, just for the simple fact that you know, they had their little beef or whatever, and they had their little back and forth situation because, you know, he kind of did his version of the song. And as an artist, she didn't like appreciate it because, you know, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit, in the words of Erykah Badu. And that was pretty much, you know, Keyshia's stance on the whole situation. So they had their whole little tit for tat back and forth on social media. But it was good to see that they kind of like was able to come together, and, you know, she kind of made him a part of that moment, because that was like probably one of the highlights. She had like a really big highlight within the battle when it came to that situation. But yeah, I really think it was a good battle. The second half, I feel like Ashanti did better than Keyshia. So I feel like Keyshia had that first half, and then Ashanti had that second half. There was kind of like I wouldn't say it was like drama filled, because, you know, they were trying to keep the whole sisterhood and, you know, support and, yeah, girl, you killed it, this and that. They tried to keep that vibe for sure, but I think it was kind of funny that when they started the second half after the intermission, because they were supposed to do like 10 songs the first half, 10 songs the second half, and Keyshia was like, all right, I'm gonna end it off. So Keyshia ended it off with Love, and then no, actually she didn't end it off with Love. She ended it off with Heaven Sent. And that's when Ashanti was like, okay, well, I'm about to drop my song. And then that's when she started doing Baby. So they literally ended the first half off with like 11 songs. So when they came back, Keyshia was like, all right, so I'm gonna start it off, because she was like, you the one that ended it. And she was like, no, I'm gonna start it off. So they had this whole little thing where it was kind of like, who was gonna start off with? But I promise you, nobody cared. It was just kind of like, can y'all play the records, please? Because we don't wait it long enough. So, but yeah, I definitely say Keyshia had that first half before intermission, and then I think Ashanti definitely kind of killed it more so towards the end and stuff. But overall, if I had to pick, see, it's kind of hard. Like, I was able to say who had what half, but overall, if I had to pick and choose on who won the battle, my heart is going with Keyshia Cole. Like I said, originally when the battle was first official tissue and it was supposed to happen on that first date, I was like, nah, I think Keyshia gonna take it. I mean, I think Ashanti, I was really like betting on like Ashanti was definitely gonna take it for sure. But I think my heart is telling me Keyshia, despite the whole lateness, despite the whole, she had sound difficulty and everything, and you know, it was a lot that was going on. It was like, you know, we could understand why Verzuz wanted to start it, you know, being in one room and stuff like that. But even through all of that, just thinking about the song selections and stuff like that, I just kind of feel like my heart is telling me that, my opinion, I feel like Keyshia won. But y'all comment below. Let me know y'all thoughts on the battle. Let me know who you thought won, or whatever your favorite part and all of this. Because I know literally, I told y'all I was 1.1 million people. So I know y'all saw that battle without a doubt. But other than that, we're going to move on to my second beat of this week. And we have to talk about Miss DaniLeigh. So this is the same exact day. And she got into a little bit of controversy over on social media. So DaniLeigh, she's a very interesting artist, I will say. I won't say that I know a lot of her records. I think the only record I know from her is her song Easy with Chris Brown. If I'm being honest, I think Easy is like the only song that I know from DaniLeigh. But I know not too long ago she dropped a project called Movie. I think I skimmed through it, to be honest, but I'm not familiar. Like there were no significant records that was dropped from that project that, you know, just kind of became a thing, to be honest. But she kind of caught some backlash because She played this song on her Triller. Well, she did a Triller video. She posted it onto her Instagram and her Twitter and all of this other stuff. So I guess the song was called Yellow Bone because in the caption, let me read exactly what she said in the caption. She said, "Yellow bone, that's what he want." And she was singing about, I guess, being a yellow bone, aka light skin, and basically just saying that he want a light skinned girl and stuff like that. And I guess like immediately, like listening to the song, looking at her caption and stuff like that, she received backlash from people. And yeah, let me just play a little, couple of seconds of the record.
Bonus, what he wants, what he wants. Yellow bonus, what he wants, what he wants, what he wants. Para Miguel se lo dan, para Miguel what I want. Fellow yellow.
She immediately jumped in her comments and kind of just responded to people as they were responding to the record. And she said, "Why I can't make a song for my light-skinned baddies? Why y'all think I'm hating on other colors when there are millions of songs speaking on all types? Why y'all so sensitive and take it personal? God damn." And then it only got bigger. So after that, she went to her Twitter and she just started tweeting a whole bunch of stuff. So one of the things that she had tweeted on Twitter was, "Congratulations, y'all got another thing to say about me. When you hate, it's all good. Only God can cancel me. That shit don't mean shit to me because the people around me are the ones that know my heart, intention in real life. I'm sorry if I offended you." She went on to say, "I'm gonna keep letting God bless me while y'all sit back and judge me and sit behind y'all little phones and type shit about another woman. Y'all are haters." Haters was in all caps. And, she said other things like, "I'm Dominican, I'm Spanish, I'm black, I'm white, leave me alone." And like, I think what DaniLeigh, okay, aside from, just the message about him wanting light-skinned girls and her making a song for her light-skinned baddies or whatever the case may be, people just didn't like the song. Like, literally, people just didn't like the sound of the song. They just didn't like the song. Like, she probably could have been saying another color, yellow. She could have said purple bone or whatever. And people just didn't like the song within itself. But also, they just didn't like, the whole, like they kind of separate, dark skin versus light skin. Like that's always been kind of like a, not even a debate, but it's just kind of just like a, people are very touchy about that whole situation. It's like, why do we have to kind of like, separate ourselves? Like we all black or whatever the case may be. In this case, it's an argument on whether or not she's black. That's a whole nother discussion for another day. But I think what she probably missed in this situation, and I don't want to say I understand, but I hear that she wanted to make a, I guess like an anthem for her light-skinned baddies or whatever the case may be. Those were her words. But I think certain people have to take into account that people are automatically going to link your real life with your art. Like I know they like to say, separate the artist from their like real life, or separate the artist from the art or something like that. Yeah, that's the saying. But in this whole situation, she's dating the baby right now. And if you just kind of paid attention to their history and stuff like that, it was always kind of rumored whether or not they was, dating each other. And that was a thing within itself. And then, I kind of feel like there was a moment in time where the baby was kind of going back and forth between DaniLeigh and his baby mama. And, her and the baby mama have subbed each other on social media. They have directly, threw jabs at each other and stuff like that. So it's gotten to a point now where him and DaniLeigh are kind of like publicly claiming each other in a relationship now. Because it was kind of like on the DL before, and then people was kind of picking up on it. But it's like they wasn't like really in a relationship, and it was kind of like when you thought he was messing with DaniLeigh, he would pop up and be with his baby mama, but then the next thing you know, you see him and DaniLeigh together. Like it was like it was like a lot of games that was being played, but it's kind of like to a point now where he and DaniLeigh are kind of like making it clear that they're together. They be like cuffing on Instagram and all of this other stuff. Now, aside from, the baby being like a chocolatey man and stuff like that, his baby mama, Mimi, she's brown skinned. First of all, his baby mama is so pretty. She looks like Summerella to me. I think a lot of people like have made that comparison and said that Mimi and Summerella, like they look alike or whatever. But, like they're brown skinned. and you know, his kids are brown skin and stuff like that. So when she says things like, you know, yellow bone is what he want, right? It's kind of making it seem like he's saying he wants light skin over, you know, brown skin. That's kind of like the perception people kind of get when they hear a song like that from her, knowing who she's dating and stuff like that, and knowing the history behind the whole tit for tat and back and forth when it was between her, the baby, and his baby mama. Like, I don't know, like, it was a lot, and I just want to did it. I just wanted to did it. Like somebody said, that's something you just could have kept in a vault. And I just kind of think that a lot of those like thinking qualities need to kind of be, and not just for her, but for like a lot of artists, before you release certain things and stuff like that, you have to know that people will not separate the artist from their art in most cases. So if you gonna say something, 9 times out of 10, they gonna connect it to your real life. So she talking about a yellow bone is what he want, right? So everyone's thinking, oh, the baby prefers, or she's trying to say, or if she's kind of like bragging, oh, he prefers a light-skinned girl over a brown-skinned girl, knowing that his baby mom's is brown-skinned, knowing that they had that whole little triangle going on at one point in time. So I'm just saying a word of advice to artists that I know the saying, separate the artist from the art, but there's a 95% chance that you will not be separated from your art. So you have to kind of bridge the whole your music and your real life and realize that people are gonna, you know, make it true to life. So, you know, that's just my thoughts on the whole situation. But yeah, y'all comment, let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all like the record? It was a lot of people that I was saying they ain't like the song within itself. They was like, let's separate this whole situation. I don't even like the song. The song don't even sound good. That's what people were saying. But anyway, we're gonna move on to my third beat of this week, and this was a very historical week. And y'all know I'm not a political person, but it was a very historical week because this week, first and foremost, Donald Trump left office. Praise your Jesus. But aside from that, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they were sworn into the office of the United States of America. Joe Biden, he was sworn in as the 46th president of the United States. Kamala Harris, she is the first black in, I think, like they say, Asian descent, like she Indian or something. I don't know. She black though. I know that much. Kamala Harris, she black. She AKA, she went to Howard University, and she is the first woman vice president ever in the United States of America. And that alone was just kind of like an emotional, happy, good feeling movement, you know, to watch. Just to kind of like watch that this week was, it was very, very fulfilling without a doubt. And aside from that, you know, we had the whole inauguration, and there's a lot that was surrounding the inauguration on Wednesday. So I think the biggest things obviously was who was singing at the inauguration, and it was Lady Gaga and J-Lo. So Lady Gaga, she sung the national anthem, and J-Lo, she sung Your Land Is My, what is it? Your Land? Your land is your land. Your land is my land. From California. That song. She sung that song, and then she also sung America the Beautiful, and she spiced it up a little bit. So I just kind of want to talk about those real quick. So I was working that day, so I was literally watching everything in real time as it was happening. So I know everything that happened. So to sing first was Lady Gaga. She sung right before Joe Biden was sworn in. And you don't know what you're going to get with Lady Gaga. Like, you just really don't know. And when I say you don't know what you're going to get with Lady Gaga, she gives you a show. So you don't know what she's going to wear. You just don't know what Gaga you're going to get. So you're just kind of like excited to see like what she's going to do. So I think the first thing that everybody wanted to see was what she was going to wear. Because I don't think that anyone ever questions her vocal ability. You're going to get Gaga or you're going to get Stephanie. Okay? Gaga or Stephanie. It depends on if the song is supposed to give you Stephanie. So first and foremost, she had her outfit. She had the little like crown braid thing, the big poofy red skirt with the whole like blue bodysuit, long sleeve bodysuit type of thing. And Gaga gave us Stephanie. and she went there and did what needed to be done vocal wise when it came to the national anthem. I know a lot of people were kind of like critical as far as like the singers of choice, because you know we have people like Aretha Franklin and Beyonce and stuff like that sing at past inaugurations. So but I mean, you also have to keep in mind administration. I know we have Kamala and stuff like that. We have Joe Biden and everything. But yeah, I kind of feel like Lady Gaga, she did a good job with singing the national anthem. Like, if you're familiar with Lady Gaga, like I said, you know, you're going to get Gaga or Stephanie. And Stephanie is when she going to go in with the vocals. But, you know, I feel like she carried. I feel like she did what we know her to do. If you've ever listened to any of her music and, you know, just kind of heard her sing and stuff like that. So I definitely think Gaga did a amazing job. J-Lo. I love me some J-Lo. Don't ever get it twisted. I love me some J-Lo. But when I heard she was going to be there, I was wondering why, not why, but what she was going to be doing. I was like, so J-Lo, is she going to read something, introduce somebody? But it was like, no, she's going to sing. And I was just like, okay, what is she going to sing? That was like literally like, I just didn't want her to sing the national anthem first and foremost when I heard that she was singing. And it was like, nah, Gaga was singing it. I was like, all right, cool. Because singing J-Lo's not always my favorite. Granted, J-Lo got hits and stuff like that. But something as serious, something that is very, requires a lot of vocal ability, J-Lo just wouldn't be the first person I choose, to be honest. But I just wanted to see how she was going to do. And she gave us, you know, nice little light, airy, she gave us some decent vocals. But I think the biggest thing about her performance is she incorporated her song Let's Get Loud. I don't know how Let's Get Loud incorporates with America the Beautiful and Your Land Is Your Land, or My Land, whatever that, y'all know that song. But yeah, I don't know how that incorporates. So it was like she literally did a melody of those songs, and it was just like kind of towards the end. She was like, let's get loud, let's get loud. And I was just like, I said, I know J-Lo didn't just sneak in Let's Get Loud. I know she didn't. She didn't do that. No way. There's no way she did that. And sure enough, she did. Sure enough, she did. And I promise you, after everything, all the headlines was J-Lo sung Let's Get Loud, or J-Lo incorporated Let's Get Loud into her inauguration performance. I promise you, that was all of the headlines. But needless to say, it was definitely an inauguration that will go down in the history books for show. Obviously, just because, like, you know, the president and vice president, historical within itself. But yeah, if y'all tuned into the inauguration and y'all saw those performances, comment below, let me know your thoughts on that. But other than that, we're going to move on to my fourth beat of this week. Now, this had me excited from the moment I heard it, and I was just here for it. And like literally, I was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm talking about Jazmine Sullivan and H.E.R being announced as singers to be a part of the kickoff, you know, show for this year's Super Bowl. So I just talked about Jazmine Sullivan last week. I talked about her latest project, Hotels. And I feel like her as in Jazmine Sullivan, and then H.E.R as in H.E.R, the artist, aka Gabby Wilson. I feel like they're definitely very, very, very deserving of it. I know one of the things that people were saying that when they were first announced, they was like, they need to take notes over there at the inauguration. These are the singers that you need to, you know, be singing this stuff. So H.E.R, she will be singing America the Beautiful. And Jazmine Sullivan, she will be singing in that. And it's it's literally the same songs that was just sung at the inauguration, might I add. But and Jazmine Sullivan, she will be singing the national anthem with Eric Carter? No, what's his name? I be trying not to look at my notes sometimes, y'all, because I typed them, so I should know it, right? His name is Eric, what's his name? Eric Church. I don't know him. That's why I had to look at the notes. But she will be singing a national anthem with Eric Church. In the flyer where it announced that she was going to, you know, be singing the national anthem, I see that Eric Church plays the guitar. So I made the assumption that Eric Church will be playing while she'll sing the entire time. But the NFL said it's a duet in the description when they officially announced it on the NFL's website. They said it's a duet, so we'll hear how it goes. But I know whatever it is, she's gonna kill it. Everyone was like, oh, so since Jazmine Sullivan and H.E.R is performing at the Super Bowl this year, they might as well perform Girl Like Me. And I'm like, hell, I'm with it, you know. The weekend he's headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. So if he just want to pull him up on stage to do that record real quick, ain't nobody going to be mad at him. Because I told y'all last week, that was a record that we didn't know we needed. But it is absolutely everything, okay? So I cannot wait for the Super Bowl. I'm not really a football person. I'm one of those people that really do just tune in for the halftime show. I'll let y'all in on a little secret. I'm not the biggest fan of The Weeknd. Like, I don't go crazy for him. But I kind of feel like this year I might actually just tune into the performances, especially because I need to hear Jazmine Sullivan and H.E.R sing. So I cannot wait. That was like probably one of the most exciting music news for me this week for sure. But other than that, we're going to move on to my last beat of this week. Now, this was something that I wanted to talk about last week when I filmed, but at the time when I filmed, which was on a Friday, it did not come out. And that is Kash Doll's new single. Her new single too, right? Her new single / music video, Badass, featuring Mulatto, Benny the Butcher, and DJ Infamous. So I first became aware of it because I was just literally scrolling on Instagram, and she put like a clip of the music video. She was like, coming soon. So I was like, ooh, this looks like it's going to be good. So I was like, okay, maybe it'll come out. I could watch it and I could talk about it on my comeback episode of When the Beat Drops. It didn't come out until literally the day after, the 16th, which was a Saturday. And I was just like, who the hell drops music videos on a Saturday? Like, she couldn't drop it on a Friday. Like, she really couldn't. But anyway, I still watched the video and I still wanted to talk about it because I really think it's a dope video. First and foremost, everybody looked good. And I just like it. Like, I feel like everybody delivered when it came to the lyrics. Like, everybody just rode that beat just real good. Like, it just sounded like a dope song. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I haven't seen it posted anywhere else. So definitely check out the music video. You know, I was really excited just because I was seeing Mulatto and Kash Doll work together. I kind of feel like low-key Kash Doll, she's slept on. I've talked about her on the show before. I talked about how I love how she rap and all of this other stuff. And I just kind of feel like she needs a little bit more respect when it comes to this rap game. So to see her and Mulatto team up and stuff was dope. Like I said, everybody on that record rode the beat. Benny the Butcher, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I did not become aware of him until back in last November, when all the rappers was getting shot. Sorry, but that's exactly what the hell was happening in that month. I don't know what was going on, but everybody got shot back in November. And he actually got shot somewhere in Texas. And it was like all of these headlines like, oh, Benny the Butcher got shot. So I was like, I don't know who that is. I'm in a process in my life, or I'm in a moment in my life where I don't know nobody. And I just kind of feel old. So I'm trying to, you know, learn and familiarize myself with people. But I didn't know who it was. And then one of my coworkers, she was like, oh, Jay, he's from New York. So I said, oh, word, let me like Google him and see what borough he's from, literally. And then it says he was from Buffalo, New York. So I said, girl, let me tell you something. When you say New York and like New York City, it's literally like two different places. Like, I know we all in New York State, but New York and then New York City is two completely different things. So he's like from Buffalo, New York. He's like outside of New York City, like upstate, like up there. Completely two different places, which is why I didn't know who he was. Because I felt like I feel like I know a lot of the rappers from like New York City and stuff like that. So when she's like, oh, he's from like New York or whatever, I'm like, what borough he from? Like, literally, that's the first thing you think. So for anybody who's watching this that might not live in New York, understand that New York City and then like the New York, the state, like outside of the city is like, we might as well be we like legit two separate places, even though we're, you know, geographically in the same state and stuff like that. But needless to say, after the fact, you know, I seen him more. I saw when he was on T.I.'s Expeditiously podcast, and he dope too. Like, he got the bars. Like, I know he's from Buffalo, but like he got it. Like I was like, okay. So like overall, it's a dope record. I think the video is dope. Like I said, if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out for sure because it is hot. But other than that, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to this week's video. And of course, you know I have to end every single video by reminding you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and share. It would greatly be appreciated. And y'all know I cannot end this video without giving y'all my song of the week. And I know it took a minute for this to happen. It was long overdue, but it finally happened. And I am talking about the Verzuz battle between Ashanti and Keyshia Cole. And I kind of felt like it was only right that I chose one of my favorite songs from the battles. And that would have to be Keyshia Cole, You Change. So like I was saying, when the battle actually happened and that record came on, I literally lost it just because it just took me back. I had that first album. I remember listening to it, and that was definitely one of my favorite songs. Like I said, it wasn't a single, but if you know, you know, and that was it. So I just felt like it was only right that is my song of the week. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will check y'all next time. So bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.